What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Tom Aspinall has opened up about the possibility of stepping into the boxing ring, and one name immediately stands out to him, Francis Ngannou. Aspinall made it clear that he has no ambitions of becoming a boxing world champion. Instead, his interest lies in high-profile matchups and major paydays similar to crossover events that have already proven their financial power. The idea has only fueled speculation that Aspinall could explore opportunity outside the UFC once his contract allows, especially as he continues to deal with lingering vision problems following the controversial no contest at UFC 321. The eye poke he suffered left him with blurred and double vision in his right eye, and as of now, he has not been medically cleared to compete. There is still no confirmed timeline for his recovery, leaving the heavyweight division in a state of uncertainty. Dana White has reiterated that the rematch will take place as soon as Aspinall is fit to return. But the inactivity at heavyweight has sparked conversations among fans and analysts. Some believe the UFC may move forward with an interim title, with names like Pereira being mentioned as potential contenders while Aspinall remains sidelined. When asked directly about boxing, Aspinall was realistic. He acknowledged that becoming a boxing world champion would require total dedication and a lifetime devoted to the sport, something that isn't realistic at this stage of his career after spending his life in MMA. However, he did suggest that a few major boxing fights could make sense, especially against well-known names. A crossover bout against another MMA fighter appealed to him the most, and he specifically mentioned Francis Ngannou as an intriguing matchup. According to Aspinall, it would be a massive fight that fans would instantly recognize. While some suggested names like Jake Paul, Aspinall emphasized that he still has important business to handle inside the UFC first, with examples like Mayweather versus McGregor proving how lucrative crossover fights can be. Aspinall acknowledged that there is significant money to be made. For now, though, all eyes remain on his recovery, knowing the heavyweight division won't wait forever. But before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Ilia Topuria recently sat down with ESPN Spain and addressed several major topics, offering a clear update on both his personal situation and the current state of the UFC lightweight division. One of the biggest talking points was the newly announced interim lightweight title fight between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje at UFC 324. Topuria described the matchup as fair, emphasizing that both fighters earned the opportunity. He expects a true clash of styles, highlighting Pimblett's elite ground game and strong grappling instincts, while also acknowledging Gaethje's devastating leg kicks, raw power, and aggressive striking. According to Tapuria, the stylistic contrast alone guarantees an exciting fight for fans. He also opened up about his own absence from competition, reaffirming that he will not be returning during the early part of the year due to personal matters. Tapuria praised the UFC for being patient, supportive, and understanding throughout the process, making it clear that his focus right now is on his family and personal life. Addressing past tension with Pimblett, Tapuria revealed that he has moved on from Paddy's controversial social media comments regarding Russia and Georgia. He explained that everyone makes mistakes, and that what truly matters is what happens inside the Octagon, not online. Tapuria also hinted that the UFC already has alternative plans depending on the outcome of the interim title fight. If Gaethje defeats Pimblett, Tapuria suggested that he would not be next in line to face Justin, instead teasing a different matchup altogether once he returns. While his comeback timeline remains uncertain, Tapuria made it clear that once his personal affairs are settled, fans can expect the same high-level performances and intensity he's known for. He remains open to facing the interim champion sometime early next year and expressed excitement about any challenge that comes his way. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder later weighed in on the situation, noting that Tapuria's time away could stretch longer than expected. They agreed that introducing an interim title keeps the division moving, even if the matchup itself came as a surprise. Despite lingering questions about the division's direction, both analysts agreed on one thing: Pimblett versus Gaethje has all the ingredients to be a wildly entertaining fight. Move on to another news. Josh Thompson has sparked major discussion within the MMA community after suggesting that the UFC is lining up a massive interim heavyweight title fight between Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane. According to Thompson, the matchup makes perfect sense given the current state of the division and the uncertainty surrounding Tom Aspinall's future, with Aspinall publicly acknowledging serious eye issues that could keep him sidelined for an extended period. the heavyweight division is once again in need of forward momentum. The timing, as Thompson points out, aligns almost too well. Pereira remains one of the UFC's biggest active stars and is readily available, while Gane is coming off a no contest in a recent title-related bout of his own. With other major names either injured or recently booked, the promotion suddenly finds itself with a clear opening to deliver a high-profile heavyweight clash. With Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje already set for late January, there is room on the calendar for one more major event, making an interim title fight between Pereira and Gane a realistic possibility. Stylistically, the fight would be one of the most intriguing matchups the division could offer. Gane is widely regarded as the most fluid mover heavyweight MMA has ever seen. His footwork, distance management, and ability to stay elusive make him extremely difficult to trap or pressure. However, Pereira brings a level of fight-ending power and precision that Gane has never truly faced before. With devastating accuracy in both hands, Pereira needs only a single clean connection to completely change a fight. While nothing has been officially confirmed, excitement around the heavyweight division is rapidly building. Thompson also suggested that broader business factors could be at play, including the UFC's new television partnerships and the need to stack early cards with major star power. In his view, Pereira versus Gane could even serve as a landmark fight under the promotion's new broadcast era, with multiple coincidences lining up: face-offs at events, sudden injury updates, and the lack of clear alternatives. Thompson believes the pieces are already falling into place. Whether or not the fight becomes official, the possibility alone has fans and analysts closely watching what could be the next major shift in the heavyweight title picture. Move on to another news. Just one day after his appearance on ESPN Spain, Ilia Topuria sat down with the Georgian sports network to address one of the biggest questions surrounding his future. With the interim lightweight title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett approaching, fans have been wondering what comes next for the reigning champion depending on the outcome. This time, Tapuria didn't dodge the question. Tapuria revealed that if Justin Gaethje defeats Paddy Pimblett and captures the interim belt, he would seriously consider stepping away from MMA and making the move to professional boxing. He went a step further by even naming a potential first opponent, giving fans a glimpse into what his next chapter could look like if the conditions align. The announcement immediately sparked debate across the MMA community. This stance doesn't come as a surprise to those who have followed Tapuria's career closely. El Matador has long been vocal about wanting to leave the sport on his own terms, while still in his physical prime. Many insiders have believed for some time that Tapuria only has a limited number of fights left inside the Octagon. A Gaethje victory could accelerate that timeline significantly, pushing him toward boxing much sooner than expected. Fans are divided, but undeniably intrigued. Offerings of Tapuria transitioning to boxing have created excitement, even though most acknowledge that elite boxing stars like Canelo Alvarez operate on a completely different level. Still, the curiosity is there, and many would tune in just to see how Tapuria power, pressure, and confidence translate inside a boxing ring. At the same time, a large portion of MMA fans are hoping he remains with the UFC. Potential matchups against elite names such as Islam Makhachev would generate massive hype and could define the lightweight division for years to come. For now, everything hinges on the outcome of the interim title fight and whether the path leads deeper into MMA glory or toward a bold crossover into boxing. As the picture becomes clearer, all eyes remain on Tapuria's next move, knowing that whatever decision he makes could reshape both divisions. Move on to another news. Following the most recent ESPN card that aired last week, the UFC is now entering a 6-week break from live events. Despite the pause in action, fight announcements continue to roll in as the promotion builds out its early 2026 schedule. Several notable matchups have already been reported, giving fans plenty to look forward to. According to Marcel Dorf, a women's bantamweight matchup between Macy Chiasson and Aileen Perez is set for the UFC's upcoming event in Mexico on February 28. Chiasson is looking to rebound after back-to-back losses to Pannie Kianzad and Ketlin Vieira, and currently holds a 2-3 record over her last 5 appearances. Perez, on the other hand, enters the bout riding strong momentum. The Argentine fighter earned a decision win over Carol Rosa in her most recent outing in January and is currently on a 5-fight winning streak. Dorf also reports that bantamweights Jean Matsumoto and Farid Basharat will face off at the UFC Fight Night event in Las Vegas on February 7. Matsumoto returned to the win column in June with a split decision victory over Miles Johns, bouncing back after a close loss to Rob Font earlier in the year. Prior to that defeat, the Brazilian had put together an impressive 16-fight winning streak. Basharat, meanwhile, secured a decision win over Chris Gutierrez in October, improving his professional record to an undefeated 14-0. and further establishing himself as a rising contender in the division. The February 7 Vegas card will also feature a highly anticipated flyweight bout between Amir Albazi and former title challenger Kyoji Horiguchi. Albazi will be competing for the first time since December 2024, when he suffered a decision loss to Jeffel Filho. That defeat followed an earlier loss to Brandon Moreno, snapping his 6-fight winning streak. Horiguchi made his long-awaited return to the UFC in October, earning an impressive submission victory over Tahir Ulanbekov. The accomplished Japanese veteran is currently riding a 7-fight unbeaten streak. Finally, Ryan Spann is set to meet Rizvan Kuniev in a heavyweight matchup on the same Vegas card. Spann last competed in July, where he secured a guillotine choke submission over Lucas Bresky. The former light heavyweight has gone 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Kuniev made his UFC debut in June, dropping a narrow split decision to Curtis Blades after entering the promotion on a 12-fight winning streak. With these bouts taking shape, the UFC's return promises a stacked lineup as the promotion gears up for a busy stretch ahead. Move on to another news. Ilia Topuria has finally addressed the growing speculation surrounding his UFC future and the delay in his return to the Octagon. In recent weeks, fans and analysts have questioned when the lightweight champion will defend his title, especially after the UFC announced that Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett will compete for an interim belt at UFC 324. That announcement sent shockwaves through the MMA world, as many believed Tapuria was being positioned for the promotion's first major card under its new broadcast deal. Amid rumors suggesting personal turmoil, including reports of a divorce, Tapuria spoke candidly with Spanish journalist Carlos Contreras Legaspi to explain his situation. Speaking in Spanish, the champion revealed that he is currently dealing with personal problems and does not yet have a clear timeline for his return. He emphasized that his priority right now is the well-being of his family and children, stating that once everything is resolved, he will return to the Octagon fully committed to delivering the performances fans expect from him. Tapuria was also asked whether he plans to attend UFC 324 in Las Vegas. While nothing has been finalized, he said discussions are ongoing and expressed hope that he will be able to make the trip. With it becoming increasingly clear that he will not compete during the first quarter of 2026, questions have surfaced about whether he could return later in the year, or if he may eventually be forced to vacate the title. Paddy Pimblett recently addressed that possibility as well, acknowledging Tapuria's family situation and wishing him well. When that message was relayed back to the champion, Tapuria responded respectfully, praising Pimblett as an entertaining fighter and noting that while past comments cause tension, mistakes happen and people can learn from them. He added that what truly matters is what unfolds inside the Octagon. Regarding the interim title fight, Tapuria made it clear that he has no issue with the UFC's decision. He explained that the promotion was fully aware of his situation and inability to compete in January, making the interim belt a fair and deserved opportunity for both Pimblett and Gaethje. Finally, Tapuria addressed the possibility of facing Gaethje if he wins at UFC 324. While he expressed excitement at the idea, he hinted that the UFC has alternative plans in place should Gaethje emerge victorious. Though nothing has been confirmed, Tapuria's comments suggest that his next move may not align with fan expectations, leaving his future as one of the biggest unanswered questions in the lightweight division. Move on to another news. Brandon Royval has released a statement following his tough loss at UFC 112, reassuring fans that he is healthy despite a difficult night in the Octagon. The flyweight contender headlined the event against the dangerous Manel Cape, but the bout came to a sudden end in the opening round. Royval was dropped by a series of heavy punches, forcing the referee to step in and stop the fight at just over 3 minutes into the contest. Shortly after the event, Royval took to social media to address concerns about his condition. In his message, he thanked fans for their support and confirmed that while he was disappointed with the outcome, his health is intact and he is ready to move forward. He emphasized that setbacks are part of the sport and made it clear that he plans to learn from the loss and return stronger. The defeat marks Royval's second straight loss as he entered the fight coming off a decision defeat to the newly crowned flyweight champion Joshua Van. Despite the setback, Royval has remained a consistent presence near the top of the division and is expected to remain in the title conversation moving forward. Meanwhile, Manel Cape wasted no time turning his attention toward championship gold. Following his victory, Cape made a bold statement to the media, declaring that he believes he can knock out Joshua Van as well. Cape expressed confidence in his power, patience, and ability to capitalize on mistakes, stating that whether the fight goes long or ends early, he believes the outcome would be the same. Those comments quickly caught the attention of Van, who responded on social media by calling out Cape directly and challenging him to meet in Houston, Texas. While the UFC does have an event scheduled in Houston on February 21, that card is already set to be headlined by Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez, making it unlikely that a flyweight title fight would be added at this time. Adding another layer of uncertainty, it remains unclear when champion Alexander Pantoja will be ready to return after suffering an injury at UFC 323. Initial concerns suggested a lengthy absence, but Pantoja has since indicated that his recovery may not take as long as originally feared. As the flyweight division continues to shift, Royval's health update provides some relief, while rising tensions among the top contenders promise major developments in the months ahead.